Introducing the former UFC welterweight champion, a man who's put on some of the most memorable fights in MMA history. 28 career wins with 20 by knockout. Welcome, Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Lawler faces a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, one of the most revered fighters in all of combat sports. A former WEC and Strikeforce champion, returning for the first time in over 6 years. Welcome back, the Octagon legend, Stockton's own Nick Diaz. Moving on to the co-headliner for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship. Here is the challenger, a former Invicta champion, looking to shake up the MMA world by beating the Bullet. Winner of 5 straight fights. This is Lucky Lauren Murphy. And her opponent, dominant at every level. She's owned the UFC Flyweight division since its inception. Winner of 7 straight fights. Looking to defend her title for a record 6th straight time. One of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. This is Valentina Shevchenko. Moving on to the main event. It's a battle between elite featherweights. The challenge for the throne hails from California and brings with him a lethal finishing ability that has put him on the doorstep of UFC gold. Riding the momentum of his dominant victory over the Korean Zombie, introducing Brian T-City Ortega. And finally, one of the best fighters in the world today, an Australian champion who has run the featherweight division for nearly 2 years, holding wins over Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo, and Max Holloway twice. Here is the reigning, defending, 145-pound UFC champion, Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
What's up, Vegas? How are you? Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. John Morgan, where are you at?
Over here, guys. No disrespect to the champions, but Nick, I know a lot of people are here to see you and very excited to that you're back. So I want to start with you. Look, Nick, I know you have kind of a love-hate relationship with Fight Week, but I do wonder how you feel right now, you know, with the crowd in front of you, all the support that you're getting right now. Does this feel at least a moment that you can enjoy?
No, I feel good. I feel real good.
Thanks, Nick. And, you know, we found out earlier this week it's going to be a middleweight fight instead of a welterweight fight. So I'm just curious, tactically, you know, strategically, does that favor one person or the other? Do you think that changes this fight at all, the change in the weight class?
No, I think it just makes it a little smoother. You know, smoother ride.
Yep. Fair enough. And last thing, Nick, that I wanted to ask for you. As you sit here, I mean, is this something that you see, like, I want to keep doing this? I mean, I know you probably want to see how things go on Saturday and how you feel afterwards, but is this something you say, I can't wait for this to be over and never do it again? Or are you saying, no, I'm happy I'm back and, you know, seeing this for the crowd, I want to do this more often?
Yeah. Well, definitely want to do this more often. I mean, especially if I get my ass whooped. If I get my ass whooped, I'm going to come back right away. If I get my ass whooped, I come right back.
Thank you, Nick. Alex, I want to ask you, we talked to Brian yesterday, and he said, listen, if you guys weren't rivals, if you weren't fighting, he thinks you could be good acquaintances. So I'm curious, after this is over, do you think you can sit down and have a pint and be a good acquaintance, or is this going to go beyond this fight?
To be honest, I would have to be pretty drunk to get along with him, I think.
Nothing's changed, you know, from the beginning camp to the second camp, nothing's changed. All I got was I got to see him a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's about it.
Thanks, Brian. And Dana, just 2 quick ones for you, if I could, please. We know that Nasrat and Hooker are on their way here, I guess, right now. Do you have any updates on kind of their status? And also, if there'll be any kind of weight concessions or anything, there seems like it's going to be tough for them to make weight.
Yeah, you know, making fights and getting fights to happen when they're supposed to is tough enough. And then you look at the last couple of years, we've had visas, borders closing down, COVID, and all that type of stuff to deal with. You know, it makes it obviously tougher. But these guys are both absolute studs. I mean, if anybody knows the backstory, you know, one of their moms just died. He flew home for the funeral, then turned around and came right back, had visa issues that we had to fix, and same thing with Hooker. These guys are going to land today. They both want to fight on Saturday, and neither has asked for a weight. You know, they're both going to make weight according to them. So, I mean, those are the type of people that are in this sport, and it's why people love the sport so much. And you know, incredible, unique individuals is all I can say.
It's awesome.
So. Yeah.
And Danny, just one last one. We spoke to Alex and Brian yesterday, and they both said, hey, listen, you know, regardless of who wins, they both kind of look at Max Holloway as still being a #1 contender right now. So I'm curious if you could give us an update on Max, what, you know, kind of where he's standing, and do you view him as the #1 contender for whoever comes out of this fight?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you look at, you got the champ, and then the top 4 guys in that division are all bad dudes. From, you know, Max, obviously, the zombie Yair Rodriguez. I mean, there's a lot of tough guys there. So timing and all the other bullshit that I just mentioned 2 minutes ago will play a factor in who fights next. So we'll see how it plays out.
Question for Robbie.
Go ahead, Shmo.
All right, question for Nick Diaz. In the time you've been out of the octagon, your younger brother, Nate Diaz, he's turned into one of the biggest stars inside the UFC. As an older brother, how does that make you feel? Murphy. You're going up against the champion, Valentina Shevchenko. She's never lost in this weight division. You're here for a reason. You're used to the underdog role. You're plus 1,700. Why is Saturday night going to be different for you?
Different than what? I've been winning all the way up to this point. It's not going to be any different than what I've been doing to get here.
Why is it going to be different for the champ Valentina? I messed up.
She hasn't faced anybody like me. I'm tough, I'm mean as fuck, I'm not afraid of her, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
Go ahead, Kevin. Somebody else, whoever's up next, go.
Okay, my question is for Nick. Or is he going or not? Nick Diaz, my question for you. Just one question is, since you last fought, your brother has become a star in the UFC, headlined a show at Madison Square Garden, has had many memorable fights. You've always been the general of the Nick Diaz army. Do you think he's kind of taken that position over now, and he's the head of the family and kind of the head of the fighting group?
Yeah, sure he has. I'm working on leveling up with him a little bit, you know, as far as I gotta fight, and regardless, you know, win or lose, I gotta fight, and then you know, I can you know, help the kids and get everybody training, you know, help train these guys.
Questions for Robbie back here. All the way in the back, right here. Right
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I know a lot of questions have been, will this fight happen or not, especially after yesterday, but now that you actually see Nick right there on the stage with you, has your attitude changed at all towards him and this fight, or are you just still thinking about the fight?
It's just business as usual, just focusing on the task at hand. Nick's a hell of an opponent, so I had to make sure my training camp went really well, and that's what I focus on, what I need to do, and everything I can handle, I've done it, so I'm ready to go.
And one for Nick. You have 2 teammates on this card. Nick, up back here. You have 2 teammates on this card that a lot of fight fans might not know. So for fans who don't know anything about Martin or Maximov, what can they expect when they fight?
Yeah, I mean, Maximov, he's a strong kid. He's got a lot of potential. I see him going far in the sport. Yeah, with his skill set, I don't think anybody's gonna match that, you know. He's a strong kid.
Then one last one for Valentina. back here. You've obviously faced the best of the best at flyweight. Is there one thing that Lauren Murphy does? Valentina right here. Right. You've obviously faced the best of the best at flyweight, but is there one thing that you see from Lauren's game that she does better than your previous opponents?
You know,
and you're one of the people like the rest of us. Which fan event would you be at this week?
If I was a fan, where would I be?
Which one of the events?
Fight.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben Baudouin from RDS in Montreal. Quick question for Nick. Your ESPN interview yesterday was pretty interesting and worrisome in some way. Do you stand by everything you said? Are you still maybe scared to go in the octagon? Not really motivated by this fight?
Oh no, I don't know if you took it I don't feel like I meant to say it like the way you said it. That was.
No.
It was different. It was.
Is your head in the right place?
I just. What I mean. I didn't. You know, there was a few things the way this fight got set up. You know, or lined up and. I mean, either way, it doesn't make a difference. When I get someone in front of me, I seem to be right back. You know, I've always trained with the best, and I've always held my own with the best. So it's just I didn't expect at this age to catch so much heat and so much expectation from everybody. It's kind of hard to. Before I was used to just saying hi and being happy with everybody, and then now all of a sudden I'm going like, whoa, hey, wait, you know. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that's all. You know, I wasn't ready for all of the extra attention or tension and attention.
At least you got a lot of support. Robbie, can you react on that? What was your reaction when you heard this interview yesterday? Did you see it?
Same reaction I always have. Like, business as usual. I gotta focus on what I need to focus on, which is a fight. I can't be watching everyone else's stuff, trying to figure out what they're saying and what's going on in their head. I need to focus on what I gotta do, which is get ready for this fight, make sure I'm in tip-top shape, and that's it.
And the last one for Dana, about the Hall of Fame induction tonight. George St. Pierre is gonna be inducted. What did he mean for this company and for the sport of MMA overall?
Yeah, you know, obviously the timing was everything. We were heading into Canada and getting sanctioned in all the different provinces there, and he became a huge star for us, broke tons of records, and that whole time period of George St. Pierre and opening Canada was a very massive part of the history of the sport and a very fun time for me, my staff, and obviously the fans. So. He's one of the greatest human beings on the planet, so very happy for him and proud to induct him into the Hall of Fame. Go ahead, brother.
Because I don't want anything like more, nothing more. I gonna do for my job. I gonna go in there, like put best performance what I can do, try to find my finish as soon as I can, and take my belt back. That's it.
Final questions for Nick. Since we hadn't seen you in the octagon or have nothing to go about, what do you have to go on that you could beat Kamaru and get the belt at 170?
I think I'm a better fighter all around. If I can survive this fight, I got a hard fight, you know, with this guy. So if I can survive this fight, yeah, I don't see any reason why, you know.
So you're going to call him out. If you win, you're going to call out Kamaru Usman on Saturday night.
I think it's already, I think that fight's already, yeah, you know. And if I don't win, I'd like to see Robbie get the fight, you know.
And final question is for Lauren. How does it feel to be in this position with being such an underdog, and you're fighting somebody where you need your personal best just to compete with them because they're at such a high level?
I believe my best is good enough to beat anybody in the world. And I love the position that I'm in. I get to climb the mountain I'm gonna walk through the fire. I get to shock the world. I have everything to gain in this fight. And I kind of feel bad for Valentina because it's like, if she looks even like less than superhuman for even a second in the fight, people are gonna say, oh my God, Lauren Murphy of all people made you look human. That's a lot of pressure on the champ, you know? So I'm happy to be where I'm at.
Question for Nick Diaz. Nick, over here. This way. Nick, these people love you. Nick, the world loves you. You're an absolute legend. But earlier this week, you told ESPN, quote, I have a lot of resentment toward the sport for taking so much from me and not giving anything back. It's a fair question. What did the sport rob you of, and what does it still owe you?
Thank you, ladies. Face forward. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Give me that belt. Let's see. We step in the octagon. Hey? Hey, mate. Hey, I ain't scared of it. Okay, mate, we're going in the cage. Don't worry about it. Hey? This whole in the elevator, the fight in the elevator, all that bullshit. I'll fight you anywhere too. But the beauty of it, we get to fight Sunday. Hey? Nah, I saw it. I'll fight. I will, yeah. Hey, like I said, hey, mate, I didn't know about you popping. That shit don't sit well with me. You don't deserve to be here. Mate, we're a fucking drug cheat. That's it.